Hey guys, it's Ivory. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm doing a wear test on the Colourpop No Filter Stix. Just like my other wear tests, I'm going to demo what it looks like on my face initially, as well as check in throughout the day to show you how it is wearing. For those of you that are new here, I have very oily and acne prone skin, so I am looking for a foundation that has medium buildable coverage and will keep my oils from coming through and looking like a hot mess. Before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Wednesdays and Sundays and post occasional bonus videos throughout the week. So if you want to know how this foundation lasts, then please keep on watching. All right, so before we apply this to the face, let's talk about the product just a little bit. So the product will be in a white component and it has 0.34 ounces, which is, I think, kind of standard for a stick foundation. It's always in between like 0.25 and 0.4, I think. So this is right in the middle. So this is how much product you get. The foundation retails for $10, and according to the website, it is medium buildable coverage and blurs pores instantly, covers blemishes, and blends effortlessly for a natural skin-like finish. Just like all my other wear tests, half of my face I'm going to be using a brush and half of my face I'm going to use a sponge just to see if there's a difference depending on what applicator you use. I've already primed my skin. Oh, I'm nervous. Is this the right shade? Okay, this is how they trick me. Every single time I get a foundation online, they put a picture of a girl and I always pick the one with the Asian girl in it because I feel like I can trust her, because it's like, okay, she's one of me, like we're the same, I'm gonna get that because, you know, we're probably really similar. And I'm like always wrong. So I don't know why I do that. My own kind betrayed me. Okay, so this is one layer using the brush. I don't know, this doesn't really look medium to me. This looks pretty sheer. We're gonna try this side using a sponge. I've done a couple wear tests for stick foundations and every single time I've always preferred using a sponge. So I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna prefer using the sponge too for this foundation. This is a little hard to move actually. Like it's not budging. Really having to like move it instead of blend it. Okay, so this is one layer using the sponge. It's more coverage using the sponge versus the brush, but this is not medium coverage, at least not to me. I'm gonna go ahead and add another layer using a sponge since I did prefer using that. I have mixed feelings about stick foundations because if you've been watching me for a while, first of all, thank you. I appreciate your support. You know that I've tried, I think at this point, 3 stick foundations and none of them were worth recommending to you guys. They either performed poorly or I couldn't justify the price for the amount, because you do get less with a stick foundation than you do with like a liquid foundation. And more often than not, they just don't perform the same way as liquid foundations do on me. So I am trying to not get my hopes up because I have a feeling I know how this is gonna turn out, but I'm still hopeful. Okay, so this is another layer using the sponge. No, I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty streaky. See, when they say it's like medium buildable, I think they assume that these people don't have blemishes or something, because yeah, if you have clear skin, even like a medium coverage foundation will look full on you because it just covers way more easily because you have nothing to conceal. But people that like me that have hyperpigmentation and discoloration and scarring, we see past all of that. It's a little excessive to use a 3rd layer, but I really don't like this coverage. I would like a little bit more, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a 3rd layer. The shade actually looks okay. I forgot if I said it already, but I picked the shade medium 90. And you know, when you go on the website, they say like, okay, match by brand. So they had the Maybelline Superstay to compare it to, but they didn't have my shade. So this was the closest that I could get to my shade. And then for my 3rd layer, I'm gonna go in with my Real Technique sponge because maybe the fuzziness of this sponge is ruining the finish. Blending it with a Real Technique sponge is actually a lot easier. Like it's moving around and I'm actually blending. I'm not swiping. I'm able to actually blend out the product. Okay, so this is a 3rd layer using the sponge and it actually looks a lot better. Maybe if I had used the sponge in the first place, I wouldn't have needed 3 layers. But it does look a lot better, I will say that. I will say this is like medium full right now, more leaning towards full. It definitely finishes like it claims. Like this is a natural finish. There is some life to it. It's not completely flat, but this feels pretty heavy. It feels like a lot on the face right now. Around my T-zone, it's already settling into my lines. And right here with blemishes, there's like a scab on top of it and it clung on to that dry skin. I don't know, guys, we're off to a rocky start. We're still gonna give this a chance, okay? Like, I don't want to just shut it down already. You came for a wear test. You're gonna get a wear test, god damn it. I'm gonna apply the rest of my face off of camera and then I'll come back and tell you like a full review of like the first impressions. Be back later. All right, so the rest of my face is on. I'm not gonna lie, I've already worn this foundation for about an hour and a half now because I got sidetracked. So it took a little longer than I thought. I didn't have any problems with like my bronzer or my blush or my concealer blending out with this foundation. I will say though, before I set the foundation, when I touched my face, the foundation transferred. This is not a foundation you want to wear if you just want to put it on and then get out the door and not set your face. For some people that are dry or combo, they don't really have to set their face. This is not the foundation you want to use if you are one of those people. You have to set this foundation, or else when you hug people or when you know, touch your face and stuff like that, it will end up everywhere. The coverage is all right once I added more product on top of it. It's still, like I said before, it has settled a little bit here and it clings onto my dry patches. It doesn't look super bad from afar, but I'm just gonna say from like looking up close into a mirror, it's not the greatest. It's not bad. I'd say like a B- right now. I have plenty of other foundations that look better than this right away. So that is it for now. I will check in a couple more hours to show you what it looks like thus far until we meet again. Okay, so at this point, it is the 7-hour mark and let's just get up close, okay? So it's not separating too much around my cheek area and my forehead. Actually, it looks okay. My chin area, I am noticing a little bit of separation. Like, it's just starting right now. In my nose, it's like gathered and it's pretty gross. It's just collecting right there in the crevices. Like, it's nasty. I am a little bit shiny. Like, I'm kind of dewy, I would say, at this point. But let me tell you, this foundation feels pretty heavy. Like, the 3 layers that I put on, it's a lot and it's kind of weighing on my face. Even though it doesn't, I don't know how else to say this. Even though the foundation isn't really like crinkling or separating, it just looks like it's ready to slide off my face. Like, it looks like it's just on top of the face and just sitting on top of my skin. I don't know if you guys can see, but there is a big crack on my forehead, and even just like touching my skin a little bit, there's transfer. So even though I set my face like crazy, it's gonna transfer at this point. I'm gonna continue wearing this, of course, for another couple of hours, but I think we know how this is gonna end. But I'm gonna keep wearing it anyways because I'm committed. All right, it is now the 11-hour mark. Oh my God. I am so excited to take this off. Okay, granted, I just blotted. It really didn't make me super shiny. Like, I felt like my oils were somewhat controlled, but this does not look good up close. It has totally gathered in like my nose and it's like bunching up. It's collecting in certain parts and like sticking to weird parts of my face. It has completely separated in my chin area, in my, what is this, upper lip area. Not to mention, it took like 3 layers just to get to the coverage that I wanted. I don't think it's worth it at all. I think if you're oily like me and like you've seen my other wear tests and you say like, okay, Ivory didn't like that, I also didn't like that, or Ivory really likes that and I love that foundation too. So if we are kind of simpatico, then I don't think that this foundation is gonna make you super happy. That is to say, maybe if you're combo or dry skin, this might be the foundation for you. However, I have a dry patch right here. I don't know why, like it's just this year, right here and right here, like right where my hairline is, I'm getting dry patches and it clinged super weird to that. So I really don't know how this is gonna look for people that are drier. So that is it for this review. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below if you want me to try out other foundations or any other types of videos that you want to see from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.